Erev Tov Rabotai, we're continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Peah. We're up to Perek Chet Mishnah Bet. As an introduction to the Mishnah is going to discuss the halacha regarding a am haaretz, a unlearned person who generally is not believed to say whether his produce that he's eating has had the tithe removed from it, because these am haaretzot don't properly observe the halachot of maaser. So whenever a person buys produce from such an am haaretz, even if he tells you, I took up maaser already, the buyer is not allowed to believe him. He must separate the maaser himself, since they're not trusted regarding these halachot. The Mishnah now is going to discuss, actually the next three Mishnayot, whether a poor am haaretz can claim that his produce is a leket, shicha, and peah, and therefore exempt from maaserot. Like we learned many times, that these gifts to the poor are exempt from tumot and maaserot. Or maaser, or if a poor person can claim, a poor am haaretz, that his produce is maaser ani, which is also exempt. Ne'emanim ala leket v'ala shicha v'ala peah b'shatan. Poor am haaretzot are believed to say that their produce is leket, shicha, or peah, and exempt from any maaserot. However, only b'shatan, only in their season, during the harvest season, when these gifts are generally left for the poor. Meaning, even though an am haaretz is not trusted to say that he took up maaser, he's believed to say that his produce is maaser, not obligated maaser, because it's a gift like leket, shicha, and peah, as long as it is during the season when it's distributed. Because the Voshim explained, Tiferet Yisrael says that once the harvest season is over, they're not believed anymore, because the produce that they received is very minute, it's very small to begin with. How much is leket, how much is shicha, what he forgot, what he dropped. So we presume that by the time the harvest season ends, he already finished with whatever he got as a gift. Therefore, they're believed, they're believed to say that their produce is leket, shicha, and peah during the harvest season, thereby being exempt from any maaserot. Likewise, we know that in the Shemitah cycle, every third and sixth year, a farmer has to separate 10% of his produce to give to the aniim. So a am haaretz ani is believed the entire third and sixth year to say that the produce they were given is maaser ani, and therefore exempt from any turumot and maaserot. Now, the Midrashim explain the reason he's believed throughout the entire year is because since maaser ani is a relatively large percentage, it's approximately 10% of a field, so a farmer won't give it all in one shot. He'll generally distribute it little by little over the course of a year. So since the poor person has access to the maaser ani throughout the year, he's believed at any time of the year to say that what he has is maaser ani, thereby being exempt from tumot and maaserot. V'chen Levi ne'eman le'olam. Likewise, the Levi, who is an am haaretz, is always believed to say that his produce is maaser rishon, that was given to him, and that he also separated the turumat maaser, the 2%, and therefore it can be eaten without any further tithing, without any maaserot having to be given. However, the poor am haaretz or the Levi am haaretz are only believed that they say that their produce is maaser exempt only if it's a type of produce that people normally give as a gift, like we're going to see in Mishnah Gimel. That is the end of Mishnah Bet. Mishnah Gimel now discusses the type of produce that's generally given to the poor, to the Levim. Ne'emanin al-achitin. Poor am haaretz are believed to say that their unprocessed wheat was collected or given to them as leket, shicha, peah, or maaser ani. Then ne'emanin ala kemach v'lo ala pad. But they're not believed to say that flour or bread was a gift of leket, shicha, or peah, because wheat is usually distributed to the poor before it is processed, not after it is made into flour or bread. So if they claim that this flour or bread was a gift, we don't believe them, because that's not the general practice. Then this is not the way to give to maaser ani as by flour or bread, and this is not the way of the gifts of the poor. Ne'emanin ala seura shel ores. They are believed to say that the rice in its whole is maaser free. It's tithe exempt free. Why? Because that is how it's generally given. Now again, the hulls are the hard shells that cover the grains of rice while they grow. The ne'emanin alav ben chai ben mivushal. But they're not believed to say about rice whose hulls have been removed, whether it's raw or cooked, to say that it's a gift, because again, this is not usually given without its hull. It's usually given to the poor while it's in the shell that surrounds it while it grows. Ne'emanin ala pol, they're believed to say that their whole beans that they have are me'usal free, they're tithe exempt. but they're not believed to say about crushed beans, whether they're raw, whether they're cooked, because again, beans are normally given to the poor while they're whole, not while they're crushed. They are believed to say that olive oil was given to them as maaser ani because it's more common to give maaser ani from oil instead of giving the olives. The Rav writes, this is the normal way. It was usually given as olive oil, not as olives. Now, even though we said a poor Ha'aretz is not believed to say that he was given flour as a gift to the poor, he is believed to say he made the flour from grain that he was given. Same thing by the processed rice or beans. We don't believe him to say that the crushed beans was given to him, but we believe if he has crushed beans, he claims they were whole when he got them. With olives, the halacha is different. They're not believed to say that their olive oil was made from forgotten olives, shicha, because usually there's too little olives that are forgotten in order to make that much olive oil. Now, literally, zeteni kuf are knocked olives, meaning the poor would collect the olives that were forgotten on the tree, which were shicha, by knocking them. They would knock the tree to shake the olives loose. Now, a person would not make oil, the Mefarshim explain, unless he had a significant amount of olives, more than are generally left as shicha. Therefore, if this poor person would claim my olive oil was made from olives of Leket Shicha and Peah, we would not believe him. But a person who claims my flour was made from wheat that was given as Leket Shicha and Peah, that we would believe, because a person makes flour even if he only has a small amount of grain, therefore the poor person would be believed in such a case. That is the end, Rabotai, of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen v'Amen.